I got absolutely yeeted.
Rip. Are we live? I think we're live.
Oh, hello. Welcome,
Hello.
welcome. Ladies and gentlemen, to tonight's match. Right?
I assume it's tonight. I hope it is.
It is. Should be. What's going on? I'm confused. Are we live or aren't we, Pierre?
Well, let's keep talking until chat starts responding.
Oh, okay. That's why. Okay. Sorry about that. So, tonight we have NMSU versus PSU. So, PSU has been having a pretty good season overall. Pierre.
Yeah,
What do you think?
it's pretty dominating. I'm standing here watching from the other division, looking at PSU looking at their division. PSU is just dominating every single game that they play.
Do you think they could be as quick of a game as last week for you?
Yeah, I definitely think it could be.
I mean, they've just been absolutely destroying. There's no reason for doubt that they could.
Yeah. It's...
So what? PSU. We've seen them just straight up just clean up house. They do a pretty good job cleaning up roamers. They do a pretty good job just counter-stratting in general. It's not like I don't think I've seen any team really latch on to what it is that makes their strategy work so well at the moment. I mean, you've been watching the cast. Do you know? Do you have any insights into what weaknesses that PSU has?
Well, weaknesses. That's a bit hard, but from talking with some of the members of PSU this season and the past season,
taking a piss right now.
Part of why they are so strong is they're very mechanically skilled players. I think they're some of the highest ranked players in our league. Some teams have one person like that. PSU has 5. The other thing is that they have if not a professional coach, what comes very close to a professional coach, giving them a variety of strategies and practices that they can work on that keeps them ahead of their opponents.
Well,
back on.
Well, their NMSU didn't get into the invite league for no reason. Oh, looks like we do have our actual caster for tonight coming in now. Let me introduce him. Coming in now is Enrage. Enrage.
That's me.
That's him. All right. Bid you guys adieu. Just wanted to do the introduction. Good luck.
We're not doing this again.
All right.
So what exactly?
Yeah, and so as you heard, we have Enrage that just joined us, and I am Pure Chaos, and the guy who just left us is the admin of this league, Duke. So Enrage, how are you doing tonight?
I'm alright. As hyped as I can be. Fighting off the bit of a start of a cold, but other than that, it's good.
All right, let's hope that doesn't affect.
I'm fine for now.
The cast too much.
Be fine. Yeah.
Yeah.
All right. Well, starting off with NMSU on ban 1 of 4. Coastline bans on attack. Predictions?
If I'm not seeing a Glaz in these bans, I'll be very surprised. Zofia, that's not one I see very often.
Yeah, that's not a common ban. She's kind of that Swiss Army knife operator, does a little bit of everything.
Right off the bat, they just know exactly who they want to ban, and it's Glaz. There we go. By the book.
I don't know if PSU's been watching Pro League at all, but Glaz was one of the most popular picks on Coastline during the Invitational.
Yep. Well, if any team in our Invite League, I would say, has watched the Invitational, it would be PSU and banning Mira. 2 very by-the-book bans, Mirror really changes how you can hold Villa, or not Villa, Penthouse.
Yeah, Mirror's it seems like a bit more of a target ban though. There are some more versatile operators to take out there, but Mirror's definitely strong for removing that play from Theater into Master.
Yep. And a Maestro, so Mirror Mini.
Yeah, that plant denial is
depending on your. Yeah.
Being able to take that off the board, Maestro and Echo are both very, very good for taking out any sort of plant opportunities. Maestro because he can down you while you're planting, Echo because he can stall out the clock.
Pretty standard bans other than Zofia. If I had to guess, that's indicative more of NMSU's lack of versatility, that they probably want the other ops that are banned more often.
Yeah, I would agree with that as well.
Yeah.
Them not using that ban for a common pick means that they have that opportunity on attack.
Yep, and PSU barely phased, has 2 South Breachers, Buck and Ash. And, of course, Thatcher and Thermite to breach some walls. NMSU going with a pretty default start with Penthouse Theater.
Choosing to bring Cade as well is a smart choice. Being able to have something a bit sneakier than Bandit, but less trickable.
Yep.
I think that'll help them out a little bit with the triple wall in Master Bedroom. It looks like
the other thing you'd point out is because it's a 6th pick, on the surface of it, NMSU didn't have any breach denial, which might have led to PSU not bringing Thatcher. And a lesser team might have done that. And PSU still ready for this breach denial.
Yeah, and they had a smart choice there, bringing IQ as well. That's going to do a really good job of countering both Valkyrie and Echo.
Yeah.
And IQ's actually seen a lot of strength increase like over the last few seasons. You've got the addition of the Alibi Prismas, you've got the addition of, with the new season, Mozzie's hack drones. There's a lot of different things that IQ is going to be good for. So, versatile pick there.
So, PSU on the attack. See what they can take. 9line, I believe that's his standard spot. He just always holds that exact corner in security. Pulse,
it does seem to be,
was in kitchen.
I believe so. Probably playing that game from below, being able to the nitrous through the ceiling, but doesn't seem to hear V-Money working their way through kitchen. Is going to get droned out. Looks like he's getting
Pulse has his attention taken elsewhere. We'll see if the Ash can capitalize on it. No, he rotates away safely. Well, safely enough. 1 HP is going to get a reset pretty fast here, probably with Legion's mines.
Looks like that happening right now. V-Money is just taking a little bit, not enough time to push that out, being a little bit too cautious when they had a free kill sitting right in front of them. V-Money doing a good job of taking out the Artilla Claws from below.
Yeah. And Cade completely unfazed, getting ready to throw his next one out. Wonder what call he's waiting for exactly. I believe all the defenders are already back upstairs.
Yeah.
And it hasn't even been halftime yet.
Yeah. PSU is doing a really good job of roam clearing. They've already got complete control of bottom floor, and now with that hatch open, that Buck is going to have a field day being able to throw nades up there. Jaeger's not on the board, nothing to deny those. Those grenades will cause quite a bit of havoc, assuming that they land properly. Cade will be an easy target for them as well.
Yep.
My Artilla is on.
Looks like Cade choosing to toss that Artilla out, knowing that he can't actually Cade trick the Thermite charges, but can trick Hibana pellets. Fortunately, that's not an option this round. And with that being on the board, that means that he won't be able to trick that out. However, the
Cade wins the fight against the Ash downstairs, but the wall opens up. We'll see if Thermite gets a kill. Cade just holding his corner.
That peak is a very aggressive, saying that wall just opened up. But
just a wrong time to take that needle out. Lucky Not Good kills Epic, and see if Buck can refrag onto the Cade. He does. Ooh. And Divine kills Lucky Not Good.
That was some good map knowledge from that Buck. That play was really nice. They knew exactly where the Cade was set up, and they were able to capitalize on that.
Yeah, Fear up on the Pulse. So the reset worked out because he killed that IQ. Valkyrie with barely an HP on the boost in the hallway.
Divine just barely over half health. Going to be trying to make their way into sight. Oh, that third right, or that is not going to go where they wanted it, and going to go down to Fachco.
5 seconds remaining.
It is a 1v1 to finish off the round. Echo does have Yokai and Time on his side, and that will actually work out to his favor.
You are out of time.
Yeah. I mean, PSU had all that time going in, and then they just kind of stood there for a while, getting a bit confused, I think, by the Kaid. A few quick frags back and forth, and they just stalled out.
They didn't really seem to know what to do after they lost their 2 in kitchen. That vertical gameplay kind of shut down what I think they were hoping to hold from below once they had that diffuser down. And so once they lost that, they kind of fell apart.
Yep. Now both teams showing exactly, I guess, other than Epic, exactly the same pre-6th pick last round.
Guess we'll see if that 6th pick comes out again. Ooh, Divine actually choosing to switch off of Thatcher.
Well, so the thing is, when Penthouse is off the board, the other sites are very open, and so either Thatcher doesn't come into play at all, or if you do need some way to stop some breach denial, a Twitch will work just fine, if not your own gun. And there isn't even any breach denial 6th pick this time on NMSU side.
That's definitely a good point. Not to mention, Twitch has a bit of a stronger loadout, historically. And being able to use Twitch as a bit more of a fragger role will give PSU a bit more pressure that it seems like they were lacking last round.
Indeed.
Seems like the Pulse is going to be brought out again. Very strong pick. Last year we saw, or actually in the Summer League, we saw a triple C4 from Pulse a couple times on Coastline. That vertical gameplay from below is Pulse both in Kitchen and in Sunrise can be extremely powerful on that balcony.
Very much so. And now as the attackers spawn in, we'll see how they pick to attack and take out these roamers.
Nui not wasting any time, getting right up to the building, gonna be droning inside of Blue Bar, trying to get intel for his team. Seemed like he did have that scanner out earlier, making sure that there wasn't any sort of Valk cam nearby to spot him. I don't believe they threw one out that way as well. Lucky already aware that there's one on VIP balcony. Seems like he heard the rappel rope going up, so he's going to be aware of that and able to prepare.
Yep, the attackers are taking quick control of the bars. We'll see.
Being able to remove the option of Pulse being there is definitely going to give them a bit more confidence and peace of mind.
Indeed, and where was that Valkyrie exactly?
I wasn't able to spot it entirely, but it looks like the cams are all set up on the 2nd floor.
She's in the bathroom. Okay, so no one is downstairs as far as I can tell. And Fear with Pulse takes out Divine, who's playing Twitch. There goes that powerful F2 off the board.
That and the addition of one of the Twitch drones going down means that they really didn't get any gadgets or utility out of that. Oh, Fear Up with a nice headshot on the V-Money.
V-Money missed that shot. Flick. Fear Up with a 2K. 3K Fear Up! He's just taking PSU apart at the seams.
Shots through the wall. Looks like he actually didn't... Oh, no, he did connect one of the shots. Very, very low himself, but able to still get maybe a shot or two off as well. Shots through the box can be baiting Epic into coming closer to Kitchen. Might be able to pick up a fort for himself.
NMSU wanted against the powerhouse that is PSU. These 2 rounds are a really good start. And if either of these teams is momentum driven, it's going to be huge for NMSU.
And Coastline is a bit historically defender-sided, so it's not uncommon to see the defenders take a good lead. Ooh, but Sean Ocho getting a nice headshot through the balcony.
Yeah,
Epic also following it up with another one on to Fear Up.
Yeah, finally Fear Up laid to rest. We'll see if that initial advantage is going to be what NMSU needs to win this round out.
It seems like PSU is stalling out quite a bit more now that they don't have the man advantage, 2-3. Frag doing a bit of damage to BLT, but not enough to really knock him off. Does choose to drop the hatch just to save his health and avoid any other nades. However, he doesn't know that Buck doesn't have any more to throw. Not worth noting that Valkyrie still has the Nitro Cell on the board, which can be used to deny the plant from below, is in a decent spot to set up for that as well. But no, BLT gonna get a nice shot through the rotate hole onto Epic that leaves it just up to Sean, and it looks like that pre-fire is gonna work out for him, able to take out BLT, but time not on his favor. That round will go to NMSU.
Yeah, the triple kill coming out of
Fear Up at the start of the round.
Yeah, really set the pace for NMSU. Then PSU just kind of stalled out, and you could see Valkyrie just waiting in VIP for the round if she had to. Obviously, she didn't. The goo mines on the objective were enough to just stall PSU out for the whole rest of the round.
Yeah, that was really well played by NMSU. That triple kill really, really saved them the round. Being able to pretty much single-handedly take apart the enemy team, very nicely played by Fear Up. I don't think they actually needed to use their heartbeat scanner at all that round, if I remember.
Yep. The late roam from Pulse down into bar may have been helpful, but the kills at the beginning of the round were so much more valuable.
Yeah, I mean, just the man advantage from 5-2 is already a huge upset.
Attackers need to locate and defuse bombs.
Moving into round 3, I'm assuming, hopefully, for PSU, it will be their goal to try to even this score out a little bit. Granted, they will have another opportunity once the teams switch sides, but they would much rather have these rounds before switching, so that way they have the advantage, with hopefully either an even score or even a bit of a lead.
Yeah, being ahead at the half is so important for setting the pace of the map and the series as a whole.
10 seconds to go.
Yeah.
PSU needs this win.
For sure.
If they want to...
5 seconds left.
It's a bit of a morale booster for them, just that alone. Not to mention, winning in a round on attack means that that's one less round they have to worry about on defense.
Drone activated.
PSU going to take a little bit more time this round, going for a bit more drone work than they've been showing previously. Saw 2 of them already get thrown out. That rotate hole is going to break the armor pack, meaning one person on NMSU will not have the damage mitigation.
That's what happens when you run away to roam at the beginning of the round.
And that is rather powerful. However, the roamer having it isn't as effective as an anchor, just due to the inability for them to get revived very often.
An interestingly aggressive hold from the Echo, holding in kitchen.
And working out too.
Yeah, and this is very daring move, because if Echo goes off the board, that's really important plant now that you no longer have. He's just holding that angle, trying to see if anyone's going to peek him.
Oh, looks like you did see the head of the Ash there, just not quite quick enough to tap it.
Yep.
So on the other side, the timeout just not working for them. BLT in the background getting one. V-Money, even if he drops for this, is a worthy trade. Losing that Echo off the board is more than worth losing your 3-speed operator.
Yeah, everyone being... V-Money finally falls to the Echo. It's on a sliver of health. We'll see if the Buck can finally get a refrag here for PSU.
I really can't believe that this is working out for them. These are such unorthodox strategies, and they're working out too.
Barely an HP, but Sean Colo finally finishes off the Echo. But BLT runs out, kills him, and this a really aggressive roam from your heavy ACOGs winning the round.
It's not something you see a lot, but NMSU seems to be able to pull it off. Oh,
unfortunate for V-Money that he couldn't win that battle.
Yeah, just stalled it out a little bit too long.
Yeah, leaving Sean once again last man standing. PSU still going with the same composition.
Yeah, I feel like they should contemplate switching it up. It's not really working for them. The Thermite especially isn't really all that versatile. Saying that they just lost Hookah and what is it? Hookah and Master. Their really only two options are Kitchen and I think actually no, just
no, they're back.
just
They're
really
back to Penthouse.
Kitchen.
The rotation,
Are they really?
rotation is over, so they can go back to Penthouse. Which is
Oh yeah, it has
holding.
been 3 rounds.
Yeah. So Thermite makes
More
makes
sense
for this site.
Yeah.
Hopefully they can actually capitalize on opening that hole and the vertical pressure, or they understand that the vertical pressure wasn't working out and that they have to use some other angles to pressure the defenders and start picking them off.
Oh, that's gonna be pretty rough for that team.
Fear
Alright.
starting the round strong with another kill. We'll see if he gets a triple this time.
10 seconds left.
Wow, NMSU is gonna be down a lot of utility this round. Losing Legion, especially that early in the round before the goo mines go down, that's a big loss.
Attackers recovered the bomb.
Yeah.
There's no reason that PSU can't rush this anymore. If they want to just full steam ahead right into sight, there's nothing that's going to stop them.
Well, PSU appears to be too cautious to just storm right in. At least the Thermite is.
Definitely a safer call to make as well. While I think that it would have caught MSU off guard, it's definitely a bit safer to play it this way. For sure.
Indeed. We'll... Sledge opening some kill holes in the wall with his fist. Looking for the pulse. Who's just wasting time for the attackers. It's almost a minute in, and the only kill is from Fear Up on his own teammate.
Looks like that drone might have spotted Fear Up, gonna be forcing him to rotate off. Pushing Sean Kocho, actually taking a lot of damage from that as well. Almost dead. Fear Up, however, does go down to V Money. That was a good pincer attack set up from PSU.
Nice solid pinch.
However, they did waste almost a minute and a half off of that. Just over half the round left on the board. Thatcher and Thermite finally making their way into VIP, trying to open that up. Sean Kocho going to be setting up a nice hole with that master key from down below.
Indeed, and it looks like they're just that PSU is just trying to bait the Kaid out so that Sean Kocho can take him out from below. Ooh, looking at just the wrong corner. Nyoho dies to 9line.
Very nice shots from 9line there as well. That was a good headshot, very quick, very clean, and able to get away before anyone's able to rotate out for a refrag.
A minute left, and they already have the wall open, and Sean just holding the window. 9line gets another kill on V Money. Down goes the Ash.
Good shots from BLT, but not quite able to make enough connection. A little bit of damage on the board, but not too much. Epic is rather low after that peak. Oh, downed by BLT. Very nice shot from the 44 mag. It will be down to Sean at very low health and Divine at just over half to clutch this round out. As it doesn't... Oh, it looks like Epic will get revived. Not going to choose to push it. Smart move there by BLT. Only 30 seconds left on the clock, and they do have both yokais left for plant denial.
And a C4.
Sean just barely missing some shots onto, I believe that was 9line.
Yep, 9line rotating back up onto site. Trying to see if he can get a floor bang. No point presence from PSU except now as Thermite comes in. Finds the Echo drone, starts the plan with Sean Kocho from the flank, kills BLT.
Shots ringing out towards Thermite. Oh, just enough time to get that down. That 7-second plant time is going to be their downfall.
Yep. PSU just stalling out, getting downed even a man up from the beginning of the round. They can't... They barely got onto site at the end of that.
Yeah, if they'd had maybe 15 more seconds, I feel like that push would have gone a lot better. And that just speaks to how much they devoted to taking care of Fear Up right at the beginning of the round. I mean, and it's also worth noting that they didn't have the Legion on the board as well, and they were still able to take that round.
Yeah. And Ella coming out from Fear Up. See if he decides to 6th pick off of that. As the recoil on her gun is notoriously bad. Looks like he's confirming it.
Gonna stick with that. Ella has seen a bit more play this season, but not on Coastline. if you look at maps like Oregon or Border, Ella's seen a lot of play, especially with the FO12. But I mean, I'm reminded of Dizzle's play from Pro League where he got the triple by the run out. But alas, not very common in casual and ranked play.
Can you spectate Ella so we can see what gun she has?
I believe it's the Scorpion.
She has the Scorpion. So not even going for a shotgun hold on some stairs or something. Just actually, he really likes her gun.
Actually, that might be because of the invitational finals. Karzeka on Team Empire was running Ella with Scorpion on Coastline in that exact match.
Interesting.
So that might be where that was inspired from.
Yeah, I'm a bit behind on that 2-hour-long VOD, so.
Oh yeah, that map was a bit of a barn burner.
Yeah, it's a good thing for our sanity that there's no infinite overtime in this league yet.
Absolutely.
Yeah. So we'll see how much value if Europe can get out of this Ella, or if PSU is finally going to put a point on the board in the last round of their attack.
Drone finding 9-line B-Money, or no, Sean on Ash this time, just outside. Gonna be looking to find 9-line.
Interesting.
9-line if he's able to pull.
B-Money is on the Thatcher.
Choosing to switch around the roster a little bit. Yeah. Still choosing to go with the same ops, just different players on those ops.
It shows a pretty deep pool for PSU. It shows why they've been dominant until this particular match.
Looks like Neo on Buck this time going to be trying to make their way towards the bar side of things, but going to fall back before the dock peaks that stairs. Good call there. Although I'm not sure if they knew based on timing.
Ooh, finally Divine takes out BLT on blue stairs. That was one pivotal point for the defense. Last time they held this side. Echo gets a kill once again. Onto Sean.
Vachko just seems to be going absolutely nuts with that MP5 SD. Frag coming out, not going to be able to do too much damage, just shaving off a bit of health. Looks like he's able to stop the Thatcher, however this time the Exothermic will go down, so will the Yokai. Did see the Thermite for just a second. They're going to be getting a bit aggressive and peeking it, but Fear Up able to pick off one with the Scorpion. That's a peek onto Aquarium Balcony.
An epic refrags pretty soon after. We'll see where exactly. Someone's in Micah. It looks like that's Divine trying to push the Echo.
That was a good trade for the PSU as well, as Thatcher had already accomplished his objective that round.
Yeah, finally Divine takes out Fachko. Lucky not good, gets taken down. Only one person left, it's Valkyrie downstairs. PSU can plant, but they don't know it yet. We'll see if Divine decides to put the plant down and pull.
Worth noting that 9-line does still have the C4, can actually deny that plant from below, but won't actually have the intel from their teammates, just the scan on Buck. Pre-fire through the wall, gonna give away the position, gonna have to rotate out. Nitro coming out from below, but doesn't actually know where the Buck is. Not quite able to hit that C4, just gonna be a little off. Not even doing any damage. Will be still a 2v1 off the board. They do know where 9-line is at this point. Sean taking a bit of damage, but able to rotate back. That ACOG gonna give them a bit of an advantage.
Yep.
9-line in a very difficult position.
Passes by, and Buck's blind spot. We'll see who gets who. Misses the pre-fire, but still kills Buck. It's down to Jackal to hold the diffuser. I don't think the defense has enough time, and it doesn't matter. Divine kills 9-line. PSU finally gets a round on the board. Wow. See if PSU can do as good as a job as NMSU did on defense and tie this map up or even take the lead.
Yeah, I mean, it's going to be a very tough battle for them to try to make that work. They do have this round switching to defense, so they will have hopefully a bit of an easier time. Choosing to bring Jaeger has been a very prominent pick, especially on this map. Being able to deny Ying Candelas, Buck's frag grenades, Thatcher EMPs if Thatcher's not being careful. Very strong opportunity there as well. Actually, Finka might have nades as well. We'll have to wait and see. Choosing to bring Capitao instead of Buck is a bit of an interesting choice. However, Capitao's bolts cannot actually be destroyed by Jaeger's ADS.
Which makes sense for the switch to come out switching your utility.
It is worth noting that Capitao's changes from the test server aren't actually live yet. His new rework on his asphyxiation bolts not going to be available.
Yep, and PSU in the default. Penthouse doing the default mirrorless hold. At least as far as reinforcements are concerned. We'll see where our roamers hold up to waste NMSU's time and give PSU their advantage on their first defense round.
10 seconds to insertion. Bomb located by attackers.
Looks like NMSU doing a very good job of droning. I think they have most of the defenders scanned already, both of the objectives already on the board.
Attackers are moving to defuse a bomb.
Epic choosing this time to set up the yokai is going to be curious to see where he sets those up. Hopefully not in the most obvious spots, as that will be a major loss if any of those get taken down early into the round, especially with Thatcher on the board. Choosing to put one inside of VIP is a little questionable. As that might actually
place
get hit.
for information gathering, but as you said, not exactly the most unpredictable.
Right, and Thatcher could actually hit that with an EMP if he half throws it, because he could hit both the wall and the yokai drone if thrown properly. Granted, he won't know that it's there, so it'll be pretty much up to chance at this point. You can just send in
Indeed,
Thatcher by
finds the
himself
Valkyrie
as well.
camp pretty much immediately.
Looks like Fachko not going to see the yokai on the light, however, is Epic on the yokai is going to spot both of them. That will be
He's just
possibly a good
waiting
angle.
for NMSU to push. NMSU is really being their own enemy. There's no roamers to push out, so they're kind of stalling themselves out for no particular reason. Someone just tried to wallbang Thatcher and got a few bullets off.
Long angle from Neoi choosing to fire through. Surprised that they didn't reinforce that this time around, saying that they had to face off against that exact angle and lost on attack. Good shots from Divine, but Fachko able to pick up a refrag.
Yeah, missing that plant. Quick,
Bomb located by attackers.
2 kills on either side again.
Fachko just seems to be rather strong with this Echo. The MP5SD already taking out 2 players on NMSU's side. 9line able to get that diffuse off. Going to be able to jump out the window as well. That'll give them the option to get on rappel and watch the diffuser from a bit of a distance. Fachko picking up another one. That will be their 3rd kill this round.
Defender has left the area of operation.
Sean just able to get a rotate in. Epic choosing to take out 1 with the MP5. That will even it out to a 2-2, however that diffuser is still down, and that angle is rather easily watchable. Shots ringing out from both BLT and Sean from a distance. Epic, however, able to take out BLT. That'll even it out a little bit more. Possibly give them the advantage to take that diffuser. Ooh, spotted by 9line, able to take out the frag, and able to get the second as well. NMSU very nicely clutching that round.
9line just kills the double peek from PSU. Unfortunate from PSU, and NMSU starting out strong on their attack, doing what PSU could not.
Looks like NMSU is extremely close to taking out map 1 on match point here.
NMSU has been really dictating how these rounds are going. PSU had almost no say. A minute and a half in, and the diffuser was planted.
And it's worth noting that PSU barely on the board as well, not really giving NMSU a run for their money this round, or this map.
Yeah, and the other thing that was interesting was that every single kill that happened, I believe, was initiated by PSU and was immediately refragged usually onto someone else by NMSU. PSU could never keep the advantage.
Absolutely. Well, moving into what could be the final round on Coastline. Choosing to go in Penthouse again. Definitely a solid idea. They almost had that round. It was very close. Granted, that final double kill by the Dokebi, very nice pick, and able to clinch that out. However, it looks like since they are keeping that in mind, they might be able to strat out a little bit more against that, possibly set up those... Valkyrie Cam was in a bit nicer of spots to get that early round intel and not lose one immediately.
5 seconds left.
A lot of drones going down already for NMSU. That'll be a good amount of intel denial.
Cover the diffuser. Attackers are moving to defuse a bomb.
But I'm actually kind of surprised that PSU hasn't chosen to try to do a bit of a run out on pool. It seems like NMSU has been spawning there quite a bit, but not really a lot of effort being put in to prevent entry, more so to take out anyone who enters without droning.
In fact, PSU has not that much roam. Although this time, V-Money on the roam with Jaeger. But part of the job of roamers is to make their presence known, so they have to be dealt with. Last round, that didn't really feel like it was the case. NMSU just kind of vaulted in and took out the wall. Eventually killed V-Money, who was probably just on the flank.
Worth noting that the Black Eye cameras and the Yokai drones are in the same exact spot as last round, so if NMSU is paying attention, they could take those out rather easily. Choosing to actually shock that in time, very good play there by PSU.
I don't think he I think that was shot from below.
Oh, it might have been actually. That could have been V-Money, absolutely. Capita choosing to push that instead, rather low. Divine choosing to get a bit more backed out of sight. Looking to get the flank onto V-Money down below. However, Capita will be playing very risky here. Low health versus a full health as well. Jaeger does have the 416C while Capita has the LMG. And Fatchko taking out that Divine. That is bandit off the board. No more bandit tricking able to be done. Finka Boost giving them just the bit of bonus health they need to take those aggressive peaks. However, Neoi does have the ability to shoot through that wall and take out Thermite. Those pings are live, lining up the crosshair. Does see him through the bullet hole, but not taking the shot.
Doesn't want to take the chance.
Taking out one. Sean Kocho taking the
frag. And refragged immediately, and down goes BLT. V-Money takes down Fear Up. Finally, it looks like PSU is getting some kills on the board. Once again, 9line last for his team. We'll see if he can clutch it out, but it's a bit harder now that he doesn't have a diffuser.
Looks like he doesn't hear V-Money down below in delivery as well. That Legion mine going just outside. Looks like V-Money will hear that as well. Those shots could potentially give him away. V-Money choosing to play this rather safe, does have the door open. Could peek at any moment and secure this round for PSU. Sound going out here, V-Money choosing to slow peek, does hear the Claymore, gonna give away his position. Pre-fire not coming out and hitting. 9line instead choosing to deploy the Logic Bomb.
15 seconds left. All that PSU has to do is probably just stand still and they win. I don't think 9line can even move across the map fast enough.
Oh, ADS burning that smoke, very well played there as well. Choosing to look just the wrong way at the wrong time. Neoi able to clinch that round for PSU. I believe that was a 4K for Neoi. I definitely saw 2 early in the round, possibly 3.
Yeah, missing the sprinting Legion in the last moment. Honestly, I thought that was a death sentence for Neohoi on the Legion.
It seemed rather grim at the start, for sure. Once that peak started, he had that angle dead on, but chose to look away at just the last second.
Yep. PSU, this may be this round that they needed to turn the momentum their way and hold down this map to tie it up. For that, they're going to have to win 3 more rounds, making it 4 rounds in a row. Which is going to be a pretty hard sell.
Worth mentioning that on top of that, they also have to win 2 out of the 3 overtime rounds, meaning that they will have to win 6 out of the next 7 rounds to pull this back.
Yep.
That's a rather large task, even for the most aggressive teams and effective teams as well.
Very much so. We'll see another hookah hold, this time coming out of PSU now that they finally won a site.
Choosing to opt for the rotate onto blue stairs as well.
Yep, a pretty default spot unless you have a mirror, which means you put a mirror there instead.
V-Money choosing to set up some ADSs on the common entryways. That'll be pretty good for defending against any throwables. However, it looks like... Oh, actually, PSU did choose to bring Ying this round. Smart choice there, but will get countered by the Jaeger if they aren't careful with their Thatcher EMPs. It's like floating debris being a bit of a problem for for NMSU as well, or PSU.
Yep. The only way they can really... Well, I guess there's two ways they can deal with those magpies, Jaegers, gadgets. There are only 3 flashes coming out of 9 line, and the Thatcher grenades to maybe disable them. Neither...
Yeah. They'll need to be pretty careful over this.
Indeed. We'll see how quickly they can clear out the roamers downstairs, or if V-Money can hold out the attackers for enough time. LMG coming from the roof, lights up Divine. Smoke.
Oh, nice shot from Lucky. Sean taking just the wrong time to peek that out as Lucky was holding that pixel angle. Not going to win that fight, MPX against an ACOG. Divine chose to fall back to site. Smart choice there. Keeping your smoke alive until the end of the round is a much better choice than losing them early on. If you're going to be falling back off of balcony, not going to try to get too aggressive. Smart choice there as well. You don't want to lose those Candelas as they're so effective at getting the plant down.
And hopefully for PSU, Sean Kocho already got his cameras down, so they can get the maximum utility out of that now that he's dead.
Looks like Europe is aware that the ADS is there now. Not able to hit shots on Legion, does know that they're there, but not going to choose to peek it. Smart choice. Working their way towards balcony.
Indeed, Neohoy on the Legion, barely taking any damage. BLT, however, gets Epic on the Echo, which is a really important frag, and down goes V-Money. Only a little bit of plant denial left from PSU. A minute left for now 4 attackers.
Lucky doing a nice job on flank watch there, taking out Neoi before he can take out Fear Up. That is going to leave the Candelas on the board. It is just up to Divine at 30 health, and he's going to go down to Fear Up. Very nice job from NMSU in taking this map rather decisively as well.
Yeah, and with a very decisive round to end it out. That was pretty just a shutdown of PSU, honestly. You know, we thought that PSU were the favorites coming in. This isn't a 6-2 is not something that I expect to happen to the favorites.
Yeah, it's gonna be interesting to see what the change of strategy is for PSU coming into map 2. Because I hope that they've noticed that something needs to change. Because what they're doing right now just isn't cutting it. Maybe it wasn't their map. I'm not entirely sure. It might just be an off day for them as well. But something needs to change if they want to pull this ahead.
Yeah, interestingly, so one thing I'll point out that I didn't actually expect was that NMSU actually picked Coastline and PSU let them defend on it. Usually that's not what you see. Usually, I mean, most teams decide to defend first on maps when they can. But some consider Coastline to actually be attacker favored, and that's not exactly what it looked like in this round. But PSU is now playing their own map. We'll see if they can make it work.
Looks like we're going to be having a short 5-minute break. Going to be choosing to swap in a player for NMSU for map 2.
Yep. Now, thankfully for NMSU, it looks like they're keeping Theorip in their roster, who I would say was definitely one of the big players. Him and Fachko really held that team together.
Two MVPs of that team. Worth noting, 9line did have some good plays there as well, but the most consistent was Fear Up, and Fachko had some very nice rounds in there as well.
really the whole team kind of came together to keep NMSU, to pile them through PSU, but yeah, I can't really find anyone on PSU that I could say did the same. They just really never got an opportunity to shine.
Yeah. Well, as we wait, I would say predictions going into map 2. I think NMSU is going to do rather well for themselves. However, this is PSU's chosen map, so I'm rather optimistic. However, NMSU did get to choose which side to play first, so if they do choose to go defense, they may be able to take an early lead. Having the option to defend both Cache and Church are very, very good sites on defense.
Well, according to my DMs with Duke, I believe we're actually going into Consulate, and Clubhouse probably was just how the game decided to switch this lobby. Consulate, definitely a defender-sided map.
Yeah, a Consulate is... It seems like most of the Pro League maps seem to be defense favored, but not to an unreasonable level.
Indeed. Definitely going to see something like Favela, which is just broken, but definitely attacker favored.
Good app, by the way, guys. It's a fun one.
Overall, I would say Consulate is one of those maps that if you're very confident with your attack play, you can make quite big plays on it. But it is still rather tough to attack both console office and garage.
Yeah, and so one thing that I personally, when I'm playing Consulate, I have difficulty getting in, because really the way you get into Consulate is you have to come in through a window or a choke point.
Right. You're either coming in through yellow stairs, which can be watched from 3 different angles. You're coming in through offices, which is a mess if you're not droning it out properly. Or you come in through Visa, which you have a possible hole above you to watch, a possible hole below you to watch, anyone who's inside of Visa, as well as anyone who's inside of Spiral looking through Visa office. You have a very hard time getting into the site. But once you have the site, a retake is extremely difficult.
Yes. Mostly, a lot of rounds in Consulate really just come down to kills.
Planting the diffuser is not really your main option. If it goes down, you essentially have the round in the bag due to the amount of long angles you can watch on it. But more than not, Consulate seems to be more of a team deathmatch map than anything else.
Yeah. Often, so much goes into plant denial that you have to deny the plant deniers. The only way to do that is kill them.
Right. Some of the most common operators on Consulate are Maestro, Echo, Pulse. Anyone who can shut down the attackers before they really can get their jobs done.
Well, and the other thing is that it's for Garage, oftentimes the default plan area, most C4 players know exactly how to place the C4 to kill the planter.
Right. And since it's such a known spot, it's very, very easy to just say, okay, we know they're gonna plant here. We can just set someone here. As long as they don't die, we have the round in the bag.
Yeah, and a Thatcher coming out from NMSU who start on defense, so that's a pretty reasonable start. It means it's going to be a lot easier to deny a breach. Although
it's a bit of a double-edged sword for them as well, because that means that if they don't do well on defense, they're going to have an extremely tough time on offense trying to take that lead back.
Indeed, and the other thing is that a lot of teams don't even play Thatcher on Consulate for the garage, because you can just, if you take Piano, the room above garage, you can just open up the floor, take out the batteries, and clear, and also be clearing roamers. So no retake from roamers, and you got vertical pressure. You take out the batteries. Really, what I think NMSU should do is ban a thermite, because it's really, really hard to defend a garage against,
Yeah,
a
once you
thermite
have
who just opens the walls completely.
Once you have a wall that's 10 feet wide open, there's really not a lot of space to hide inside of garage. Worth noting as well that either a Buck or a Maverick ban would have been decent there as well. Maverick's been increasingly popular in past seasons, with a lot of play being seen on Clubhouse and Consulate, with the ability to cut open the bottom of a wall, thermite repels, puts a breaching round on it, and gets it open. And then Buck, because his prominence in both piano and offices is increasingly powerful as the round plays out.
Indeed, and so a very rather obvious pick coming out of NMSU going down to the basement. Interestingly, PSU not even taking the thermite really reshapes that site.
Yeah, I don't know if they expected
there we
it
go.
to be
Epic switching off
first.
of the Hibana.
Yeah, it's a good call by Epic, for sure. Hibana can make that site work, but not to the same extent.
Yeah, I'd imagine PSU looked at this composition, decided this didn't look like a console office hold with two breach denials. They're going to have to watch out for Fira. Probably going to be using that ACOG to point it outside of the building.
Yeah, Consulate, one of the more spawn peak maps, due to the amount of long angles you can hold with ACOG. Thing that you can see from Projector all the way out to the main spawn on street, as well as being able to watch from Yellow Stairs and Bathroom all the way up to Gas Station and Police Line.
Yeah, it looks like some miscommunication coming out of NMSU, not exactly
10 seconds left before insertion.
knowing where they want that default rotate, so Fear has to hold their hands.
Yeah. Looking for any drones under the white van. Good spot to check for. Pretty common for attacker drones as well. Nui-san not wasting any time, already moving his way up to the building.
Not worried at all about a spawn peek. Interesting. Holes in the wall. This used to be very useful to hear thermite charges hitting the wall,
yeah.
But
after the sound propagation
that no longer
changes
anything.
Yeah.
It always amuses me to see teams use it. Neoho getting just the edge of that mute jammer.
A good pick there as well to get that jammer down. However, the bandit trick getting baited out. Actually going to know about that. However, they don't have a Thatcher to deal with that, so they will either need to rely on Ash's breaching round or Zophia's lifeline to try to take those out through the drone hole nearby.
That was an interesting play. It was a nice bait coming out of Epic, but now Bandit's probably going to be thinking about that the next time he places his battery down. And honestly, didn't really help them.
It was a good...
And finally Neo-Hoi-san is in the building.
Yeah, it was a good bait for sure, but then again, they don't have a Thatcher to capitalize on it. You don't have an ability to break that battery as soon as it gets placed.
Indeed, though now both of the soft breachers, I believe, are inside the building. Ash watching for flanks and Epic waiting for the okay. Down goes Neo-Hoi. Nice shot from below.
Absolutely, that
picked up by Ash.
Very nice. 9line going to be watching onto Yellow Stairs. And MP7 through the car window, going to be giving them a bit of cover that they really need. You are able to take out the ADS that will allow them to prevent any sort of bandit tricking, and just like that, bandit on board. That means the thermite exothermic charges will be coming out. V-Money hitting a very nice shot through the floorboard as well, unlucky. 3v5 for NMSU.
Yeah, and with the wall open, this is a pretty solid start. They only have a minute left. We'll see if they can do anything with it. Down goes Fear Up Divine, takes him out with a headshot. No reviving for this doc. Down to Fachko and Zilber, the new sub, I believe. Epic already planting the diffuser, and no C4s to deny it. Have to come down to a retake.
Shots going out, those will be just missing Fachko, but Zilbor instead going down to Neoi, and Fachko finally dropping to Epic.
Yep, PSU starting their map pick out strong, winning the attack.
Yeah, it seems like that they were a lot more confident this time around. They started that round, they knew what they were doing, they were able to get into the building, and then open up from above and give themselves the rotation they needed to get into sight. Once they had diffuser down, it was already pretty much game over.
Yeah, pretty much a shutout coming out of PSU. I don't think there may have been a perfect round other than that down onto Neohoy.
Yeah, not losing any members.
Definitely what you want to see to come back and at least tie up this series, so you can keep your 3 and then 4 point lead on the rest of your division.
Right. And assuming that they can pull this into a win on this map, that will give them a little bit of leeway next week in the standings. Not really the lead that they'd want to have, assuming, but still good enough that they don't have to worry about losing their spot.
Indeed. And NMSU trying basement once again, trying maybe to fake out the attackers with a fake clash being swapped onto Bandit. One electric operator to the other.
Yeah, Clash is a very interesting op. Extremely team-oriented, for sure, but not very useful on Consulate. There's really not a lot of space to work around with this Clash. You're next to useless on Consulate, or on Admin Office. But
a Clash can be quite useful depending on how the attackers are attacking exactly.
Right.
The way PSU attacked, I agree, definitely not worth it. But if someone is, say, using a yellow stairs push,
yeah, could be very effective to hold from below onto yellow stairs. You're essentially able to completely siphon that area off, slowing anyone down, opens it up for nitro cells, plays from above. But
as you said, with how PSU is holding this, the amount of angles that they have, a shield opera on defense is not going to help you.
Looks like PSU choosing to go in through second floor in offices, droning out all of the second floor, and little do they know that I actually have the entire floor to themselves, which will cause them a bit of time, which they really need for later in the round.
Well, honestly, I would say making sure that there are no defenders to flank you from upstairs is worth the seconds that you're spending up there. Down goes the bandit from Neohoy. Fear Hope.
That's especially
top fragger
useful
for his team, just gone.
Being able to take out the bandit, especially like choosing to rotate your bandit off of sight, means that you're leaving that hot breach wide open.
Well, they do have Zilver on the Kaid, but I think that NMSU has realized they can't really deny the attackers the wall.
I'm just barely missing a hip fire through the floor.
So rather than trying to prevent the attackers from taking out the batteries, they're just gonna go for a retake or just frag out the attackers.
Yeah. Worth noting that Neo was actually able to take out one of the Electro Claws as well. Instead, or actually, afterwards, going down to Neo, but V-Money able to pick up a refrag. Nice headshot there. That's the mute off the board. Granted, mute already served his purpose that round, so it won't be too large of an issue. Very nice angle from V-Money, able to down and then take out the dock of 9line. That's going to be that ACOG off the board, not to mention a lot of healing utility. It's down to Fashko and no longer Zilbor as he goes down to the same exact hole through the ceiling. V-Money almost able to take out the Jaeger of Fashko as well. Fashko able to take out one. They do have live pings. V-Money will be able to get some nice shots through the ceiling, but Fashko going to go down to Blackbeard instead, the Deagle coming out.
Obviously, a 1D coming out of Blackbeard. Clearing him out, we don't even get to see this kill because Blackbeard got downed. Curse you. Final end of round camera. We'll never know if it was a 1D.
Well, PSU actually seeming to show a lot stronger of a presence on Consulate. Maybe it was just the map that was throwing them off their game.
PSU, yeah, as you said, looking a lot more comfortable on their own map pick. We'll see. But if they really want to keep this lead, as you know, every round matters, because at the end, that round differential can really make the difference between being second or third or being first and second.
Right. In the event of a tie, worth noting for anyone who doesn't know, if two teams have the same point values from win-loss at the end of a season, whoever has the higher round differential will take the spot.
Indeed, and if PSU wants to end up with a positive round differential on, or at least a non-negative round differential, they can only lose 2 rounds on their own map.
Right. Assuming they want to net 0, they would need to pull this map 6-2.
Yeah, which is no easy task, though NMSU did it, obviously. In the previous map, we'll see if PSU can show that kind of dominance on their own map, or if NMSU can kind of get at least some advantage that PSU couldn't in the past map.
It is interesting that they're bringing Blackbeard so often. Definitely a very strong operator on this map, but not one that we've seen played all that often. Actually, some interesting Black Eye placement from the Valkyrie of Nioi, or not Nioi, 9line. There was one that I noticed that was by the vending machines on the behind the table there. I'm probably certain that that's going to get shot by IQ.
Well, 9line is definitely depending on the heat of the firefight, distracting IQ from shooting the cameras. We'll see if that plan pans out.
Exterior cam's already going down is a good shot. Worth noting that one of the Black Eyes is actually outside in the palm trees, not going to get spotted by...
Gets a kill onto V-Money. Nice use of his ACOG. Finally gets value out of it.
And that run out was a very good trade for him as well, not needing to use any of his stim pistol, not actually taking any damage either.
Indeed.
It's like Divine's going to be getting sent to cover that angle from now on. Good choice there as well, as Blackbeard's face shield will protect him. However, Fear Up getting some very nice shots, doing a lot of damage, just under 75 to Divine. Choosing not to do a run out, as he did see that it was Blackbeard, good choice there as well. Doesn't know that Sean is on the rappel as well.
Indeed, it looks like PSU is keeping each other's backs covered after that pick onto V-Money. And Blackbeard missing his utility, half of his utility. But a nice strong hold of NMSU in admin office. Honestly, this may be the objective they wanted to start with. Epic, though, gets a kill into Fachko, distracted by a drone. We'll see if he can get the Legion.
Does have the ping from that drone telling him the location as well, but not going to be able to figure out where Lucky is located inside of sight. 9line, however, not taking one down with him as well. Lucky taking out the Sophia as they rappel in, but Epic getting a nice headshot through those cubicles.
Yeah, but the problem that PSU has right now is that Fear Up on that dock really set the tone for this map. All these refrags mean that NMSU still holds the advantage and only a minute left, and they're finally into admin. This is not boding well for PSU if they really want to get a non-negative round differential on this series.
PSU also still has a lot of defender gadgets to deal with as well. Those mute jammers were still up, preventing any sort of drone work from going on. Still a lot of barbed wire going down, and Black Eyes still on the board as well, with IQ getting picked off so early in the round. Shots going down onto Divine that will down him. Not able to actually take a shot there, but Epic able to pick up the frag and pick up Divine as well.
Indeed, finally equalizing the operator count, but not the time. NMSU definitely has the advantage here. They have to run in and plant.
Shots coming out from Doc, able to get the headshot, does need to go for the plant.
9line peeks at the wrong time and gives PSU the round. That...
Oh, that's very unfortunate for them. All he had to do was just sit still, wait for them to start going for the plant and throw the nitro.
Indeed, I'd imagine that he thought that perhaps they weren't stacked up on each other, or they were both focused somewhere else and didn't realize that he was there. But of course, his shots gave him away for the shieldless Blackbeard to take him out.
Just an unfortunate round there for NMSU. They really had that one up until the last 5 seconds.
Yeah, and really knowing that you had that round just in the palm of your hand, just for it to be snatched away for a couple of small mistakes, that's really gonna weigh heavy on NMSU. And
absolutely
probably affect them for the rest of this map.
not to mention it's going to act as quite the morale boost for PSU as well. I can imagine that they're kind of sitting around in the call, high-fiving, whatnot. That's going to be a big boost for them, knowing that they got around they really shouldn't have.
Thinking, high-fiving in their team house, they definitely have.
Absolutely. Just leaning back, saying, all right, we've got this, take it easy. I mean, they have a 3-0 lead. It's not like they're really hurting for rounds here. So they're in a good spot right now.
Yep, since they lost that last round, NMSU decides to stick with console office. Once again, maybe they can make something work out here that didn't work out downstairs. So maybe in one of the next couple of rounds, they'll decide to go with some unorthodox picks. Maybe lobby, or maybe even the split site. See if they can throw PSU off. Win a round off of the confusion.
Split site is... It's an interesting one to hold. There's really no defined strategy right now because there's so many different ways to do it. So if we do see it picked, I'd be curious to see how they hold that. Fear Up going for a bit of a spawn peek here, does have a Valk cam outside in the palm tree helping him look for any attackers that might be coming through. However, doesn't seem to see anyone right now, so some of that time and effort might be wasted as it seems like PSU is choosing to go in through Visa instead.
Indeed.
You're doing a good job of taking that black eye out as well.
Removing the Valkyrie, getting revenge for being taken out early by Valk. No damage on the board and almost a minute down for the attackers. And no one in the building yet.
Sean Coach is still choosing to watch under the door into Visa through that drone hole. Gonna be a bit of an issue there. Neoi taking out the mute jammer on Spiral that will allow them to get a bit more drone intel. But Zilbor instead choosing to not really hold on top of his mute jammers, staying instead on site. Very anchor heavy round from NMSU this time around.
Indeed, barely any shots exchanged, if any. Already half the round over. Don't know if I can exactly call this good coming out for NMSU, but at least they're not down any players.
They're coming out of this, at least as it stands now, with a time bonus, which is really what they're looking for in defense. But as that stands as well, it means that PSU is able to get into very nice positions to be able to take that site later in.
Indeed. Now PSU has gone on into the building. Blackbeard slowly leading the snail charge.
Attackers have located a bomb.
Trying to figure out where these defenders are, if they can take them out. Buck looking in vain for roamers downstairs.
Good shots from Neoi, just not quite connecting. Does get some damage down, but not going to be enough to claim a kill or really anything besides knowing that they hit them. Divine's shield looking a little bit worse for wear, only able to take a bullet or two more. Fear Up going to be trying to challenge that angle with the ACOG. Does break that shield, but no, does go down to Divine. Nice shots there as well.
That shield's all Divine really needed to stay alive in that peak battle. Epic gets a kill. They're already killing.
V-Money following it up with a second. Divine with a third. Epic able to get the plant down.
And that was one hell of an execute coming out of PSU. Reminds me of a certain pro team that takes 15 seconds, spends the entire round about 15 seconds to set up, and then suddenly everyone's dead.
Yeah, for sure. I believe we actually saw that map in the Invitational as well. I believe that was that Nora versus Empire?
Maybe. But I'm thinking of different teams. I don't even think they were at the Invitational, unfortunately. V-Money leaves the game looking for a rehost. Thankfully, it happened before the round started, so they can get it.
Well, so hopefully it won't take too horribly long to get that set back up. Unfortunate crash there from V-Money. But
indeed. So
a 4-0 lead still in favor of PSU means that they don't really have all that much to worry about, even with the rehost.
Indeed, and we don't have much to worry about either, because all we have to put in is that PSU has won 4 rounds in a row. We don't have to worry about what site it is because no site will be locked since PSU were the attackers.
Worth noting as well that NMSU has had most of these rounds be pretty close, except for that last one. Most of them come down to a 2v1, 1v2 with just over 15 seconds on the board. So if they play this last round that they have smart, they could come away with at least one round on defense.
Yeah. But I think that NMSU may have noticed that PSU is running out of time on their attacks upstairs, which is why they stuck for it a second time, if I had to guess, which means that they need to utilize that time. They can't throw all their bodies into PSU as they're attacking.
Right.
They have to use this time that they're gathering wisely to win the round out.
I don't know if it's just me, but I'm not really seeing a lot of Legion's goo mines get activated as well, so it seems like those aren't playing as huge of a factor as they would have liked. I'm assuming that's mostly in part due to the IQ being able to scan those out. But at the same time, Legion is a very strong operator for stalling and delaying time. I mean, being able to pull Capcan out as well, or to a lesser extent Frost, or maybe even Kev, can be pretty good here, but I'm not really sure if they really want to play the time game. It seems like they've already got that handled.
Indeed. What?
I believe the bans were Thatcher. There was Glaz. I can't remember the defender bans. Was it Maestro?
Let me double check those. Yeah, it was Echo and Maestro. Yep.
Okay. Then that should be good. Yes, okay. Bans are good. Rounds are good. Once we have the last member of NMSU back in the match, should be good to go.
Indeed.
Waiting on 9 line, looks like.
That Valkyrie?
Yes. Alright, well, once we have the last member of NMSU, we should be able to get this match back up and going with the last few rounds on, or the last round actually, on defense, and then the teams will switch sides.
Indeed, and we'll see if NMSU can use this impromptu tactical timeout to figure out what went wrong and what they can capitalize on for PSU to really hold down this last defensive round.
Yeah,
put themselves on the board for this map.
They definitely need to put the a bit more effort into their tactics talks going into this map. And I hope that they're using this time effectively to plan that, as they will need something to switch it up, because what they're doing right now just isn't quite working out for them.
Indeed. Well, still waiting on this last player. I think 9line has to find his Ethernet cable again, if I had to guess.
Would seem so. Waiting for a status update here from the teams. And then back to Consulate.
It's almost a whole map break for this rehost.
Yeah. But that is the point of the timeouts.
Now, hopefully, on the other hand, while NMSU can use the fact that PSU is spending so long trying to get onto site, they almost run out of time every time. Hopefully, on the other hand, PSU is also using this time to realize, wait, those 2 rounds were way too close. If we didn't realize Valk was behind, or if we didn't suddenly get 4 kills, we wouldn't have won that. Let's not do that again. Let's get in faster, get these picks, get this bread, and go home.
Yeah, they do need to realize that they're actually not as far behind as it might seem. So if they can pull that out of the bag, then it should be fine.
Yep. And at this rate, definitely looking like they can end up with this positive round differential of perhaps +2 rounds coming out of this with a tie.
Right. It is still possible to pull this round back for them as well, but it will be rather difficult. Again, similar situation to what PSU was in last map. They do have to win, at this point, 6 rounds in a row to win it. If PSU wins their next round, they will have to win 7 in a row.
Yep.
Looks like 9line is on his way back into the match. Just need to wait for them to load in.
A little lost in his own computer.
Yep, just figuring out which port plugs into which cable and vice versa. You know, it takes a little bit of time.
There we go. Finally, 9line is in. PSU is ready. We'll see if NMSU agrees. There we go.
Both captains have readied up. We will be getting back into the match any minute now. Once all the rounds...
Checking we have everything right.
Seems like that is the case.
Start. I believe now. There we go.
Alright, moving back into map 2. Consulate. PSU currently in a 4-0 lead. They will be starting on their last round on defense, or attack.
Attack.
Yes. On attack, then switching over to defense.
Yep.
If they manage to win this round, they will have won all of the attacking rounds on a somewhat defender-sided map. So
indeed, this is a very interesting
quite impressive
change. And as I predicted, NMSU going to console office rather than basement, possibly seeing if they can exploit the lack of time management from PSU, who are bringing the exact same operators once again. But Fear Up switching off of his dock and onto Ella as Fochko picks up the dock from him.
I'm kind of wondering if they're pulling a 92 Dream Team and saying that whoever is getting the most frags gets dock duty.
Yep, we'll see if Fochko can use that ACOG a little bit better than Fear Up has and maybe get some operators as they're coming in from spawn. Or holding off those long angles.
Bomb located by attackers.
Seems like a pretty standard hold here for console office, same that they've really been doing the whole time. Reinforcing behind long desk, onto yellow stairs, and then one reinforcement between sites to cover up any rotates.
Indeed, Fear Up using the Ella mines to prevent the common entry points, like the one coming off of the balcony. Often, I believe, named after Pengu for his prolific use of Blackbeard back in the day.
That was a pretty popular spot for a while there, definitely. Looks like...
But we've seen it a lot less in recent times.
Right. The amount of nitro denial, smoke denial, and just how much better aim has gotten has really led to the fall off of that site. But, on the other hand, a lot more office pushes are being seen, just like the one that PSU is doing now. For, I believe, the 5th time, looks like Nioi does see that there are 2 ADSs there and a Grismot. But Epic
takes down the Ella. Down goes the ace in NMSU's sleeve.
And that could spell the end for this round for NMSU, already losing their top frag.
Epic enjoying his last few weeks with the current
QE.
Lean animations. As they push in with the advantage. Getting ready to get up to match point. Now Jaeger you saw, I believe, down on yellow. Ready for a flank.
Just waiting for the right time to peek out. Does seem to know that there's one playing somewhat towards Spiral.
But the strange thing is, no one really pushes yellow. Most of the team is pushing from the other side. But we'll see if he can get Sean on the buck, who's kind of moving around piano and lobby.
Zill choosing a good time to rotate there as well, did get droned out, choosing to fall back to site. However, that might actually play against them due to the buck of Sean playing below. Divine making their way a little aggressively towards long desk. That Blackbeard shield will prevent them from getting a headshot, but it doesn't save them from body shots, which seems to be the problem. Ash doesn't seem to have gotten the call out that there are two Jaeger ADSs inside of sight. Will not be able to burn both of them, even with all three flashbangs.
Indeed, 9line all the way down in the basement, but V-Money takes out the smoke of Lucky Not Good. There goes your plant denial.
That's a rather unfortunate operator to miss as well. V-Money choosing to pick out against Bachko, but not getting blinded, able to down Thermite, not kill V-Money, taking out the refrag instead. Getting a lot of damage onto Zill, not quite a kill, but does go down. It is just up to 9line. The plant is also going down at the same time as well. 9line will have to clutch out a 1v5, well, 1v4 and a half if you consider that Epic just got revived.
There we go, takes down Sean.
Just dodging
just
the
waiting for Sean to peek him as he doesn't realize he downed Sean. Wasting precious time on this retake.
Also giving away his location. Does get shot through the wall. Good pre-fire there.
And we're on match point as PSU finishes their attacking rounds.
Extremely dominant from PSU this time around. They seemed like they were struggling a lot with Coastline. They're clearly not struggling here. 5 does nothing lead.
You can definitely see why PSU picked Consulate as their map, as they're turning this, as you said, defender-sided map into an attacker-sided map when you're PSU.
Which makes me a little bit scared almost for NMSU. If they lost all 5 rounds on defense, what does that say for how PSU is going to be on defense on a defender-sided map? If they were that strong on offense, I would be a little bit afraid right now as NMSU.
Yeah. No cheese other than Ying coming from NMSU to clutch this out, as PSU going upstairs to the console office as what PSU hopes to be the final round, while NMSU would like this to just be the 6th round.
Choosing to bring Mira and Smoke as well will give them a lot of hard angles to hold, meaning that Mira will be able to use those Miras for Smoke or any of the other operators on team to hold inside of sight or outside of sight into sight, should they choose to set up that way.
Indeed, and interesting reinforcement coming out of Yohoi on the pulse. He decides to reinforce the cubby walls.
Yeah, not a common spot for sure.
As usually the defenders can use that to wallbang of an attacker as they repel in.
Epic going to be going around opening up the cubicles here. A little bit of a interesting decision, as that can be more attacker-sided as they get the ACOG and he does not. Mira already dropping a Mira window. That's the Twitch drone on duty.
Yeah. There goes the Mira going into the bathroom. And no reinforcement going onto yellow stairs apart from the tiny sliver.
It looks like a double hot breach coming out from NMSU. Just getting ready to go into sight. They could double repel this with Ying if they wanted to, because Ying can put her Candelas through soft walls. Looks like instead they're going to be waiting for a call out from their team. Capitao making his way up. Ying going to be using those Candelas just as aforementioned. Hot breaching into sight. Working with Blackbeard, but does go down. Neoi not blinded in the slightest. The castle taking out 1. Divine taking out a 2nd with the SMG-11. It's Blackbeard still on the window, choosing to look out for a third, but no, Divine gets a second pick this round.
Nice kill from 9line, but he has to replace his shield. He's already down. Only him and Zilbor up against 4 members of PSU. As Divine is on, I believe that is exactly 1 point of health.
Yeah, it's almost unfortunate that he's that low as well, because at that point, getting able to be reset is extremely risky, because even through a wall, you might still do lethal damage. Looks like Zilbor are going to be doing a bit of a risky drone here, choosing to toss that in while right next to the window. Does have backup from 9line, but it doesn't mean that he will be saved. 9line choosing to get a little aggressive while his teammate's still on drone. If he falls down, that could be the end for NMSU. Divine, not knowing that he could probably hit a smoke from this distance, instead 9line repelling all the way into sight, getting very aggressive, is getting shot by Valkyrie through the wall.